Consider the screen in your hand. It's not just showing you the world around you, it's literally shrinking you down until you can fit inside of it. See, the thing is, the future being built around us is not one of freedom. It's one of comfort. A warm, padded cell where nothing is worth risking, nothing worth creating, and no one is allowed to become or attain greatness within oneself. But rather, the only thing that is allowed is suppression and submission. Nietzsche warned about this. He named it the last man, the human who survives everything and yet becomes nothing. Quoting Nietzsche, he says, "What is love? What is creation? What is longing?" says the last man. "What is a star?" thus asks the last man. And then he blinks. But that blink, that dull, harmless blink, is the sound of the human soul powering down. And I'm not saying this as a simple bystander. I am saying this as a researcher and as a teacher, someone who has studied systems and watches how they shape people over time. I'm saying that as an adventurer and as a traveler, someone who has lived in different cultures for many different years, how I've listened to strangers, I became friends with different people across cultures, and I've seen how societies over time mold the human spirit. And the thing is, across the borders, the places I've visited, and the languages that I've learned and the beliefs that I've been able to understand, one pattern does repeat again and again. And that is when comfort becomes the highest value, freedom becomes negotiable. And by the time that people notice the trade, it's far too late. And I know you felt it too. Possibly you're waking up tired already, you're doom scrolling for hours, and by the way, remembering none of it. And then you're living in that same loop. Work, content, sleep, repeat. Work, content, and it goes on and on and on. And when your recommended for you starts to feel like it knows what you'll click before you do, well, this is literally nihilism with a user interface right at your face. And I'm not saying, not the fiery kind of crazy stuff where the world is burning and there's a dramatic dystopia. No, this is something far scarier, far worse. This is the quiet kind where the meaning of your life fades away into nothingness, ever so subtly. Nietzsche's last man doesn't suffer as well because he is trained to avoid the suffering at all costs. He doesn't chase greatness, he chases ease. He doesn't seek truth, but rather he seeks comfort. Quoting Nietzsche again, "We have invented happiness," he says, say the last man, and then they blink. Invented, not discovered, not earned, but mass-produced, shrink-wrapped happiness, delivered daily in pixels. And this is where AI enters, not as a robot uprising that's dramatic or anything like that, but as a system, one with one holy mission: to keep you calm, keep you clicking, and keep you small. And this is the split. On one side, you have the worker you, the artist, the thinker, the seeker of great things that are maybe possibly wanting to change the world, do great things, and help humanity. And then on this side, this spectrum, this continuum, you have the all-powerful elite, the ones who own the platform, the data infrastructure, the AI who controls the attention. And they don't need chains anymore, you realize. They have feeds, they have terms of services, they have the algorithm. They decide what gets seen. They get to decide what is buried. They get to decide what is labeled safe and harmful. Or they also get to decide what is quietly erased. They don't have to silence you. You simply just become invisible. And that's that. And when you're tired and you're isolated and you're boxed in financially and you start negotiating with your own spirit, saying possibly, "Oh, well, I'll say less," or "I'll risk less," or "I'll play it safe," that is not self-discipline. That is rather societal conditioning and the destruction of one's soul. AI automates now an entire life experience, one crafted for literally your entire purpose. It offers you a world where art is instant, words are instant, answers are instant, ideas are instant. You never struggle, you never grow. A world where if it fits into your mold of in your mind, it all goes into the rest like a herd mentality. Nietzsche warned of us again of this. He's saying that When life becomes frictionless, when pain is treated like a bug to patch out, that we start to lose something essential within ourselves. Your mind becomes a literal marketplace. Your attention, a resource to mine. Your personality, merely a product of total consumption. How long will you accept these terms and conditions? And I've seen this in every culture that I've been able to explore. When people are taught to fear discomfort, they start clinging to the herd, not because it's wise, but because it's safe. No shepherd in one herd. Everybody wants the same and everybody is the same. And that's the trap. They sell you belonging, but what they mean is compliance. They sell you safety, but what they really mean is obedience. They sell you convenience, but what they really mean is control. Nietzsche believed that there was one thing that the last man couldn't stand, because it can be optimized, automated, or bought entirely, and it would create inner chaos. Quoting Nietzsche, one must still have the chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. And if you feel the emptiness, the rage, the restlessness, then good. There is proof that you are not fully tamed, because the future that they want is a world of the last man, blinking, sedated, apathetic, content, and numb. So here's the thing. This is the future that we are living through now. And the future that you must also fight for is going to be increasingly harder. A life that has something, even if it hurts.